there. Hey, here I am with my stuff that I brought home from Gen Con. And once I posted this picture, I saw some other content creators sharing the why of why they purchased the games, why they came home with the games that they did. And I thought, hey, that sounds kind of fun. So I thought I'd do the same thing. So if that sounds interesting to you, then great. I'll take a few minutes to talk about these. If not, then just skip on to your next video in the feed. So I went to Gen Con and I was having the intention to make as few purchases as possible, maybe purchase nothing, but obviously that didn't work. There's probably a spiritual lesson in there too, though, right? So if you are in the near occasion of making a purchase, maybe you shouldn't go to a major shopping event, but there were plenty of things to shop for, and I brought home these games for different reasons. So I thought I'd just talk about those things. Now, my basic premise is I do try to support my local game stores when possible. So shout out to Mission Board Games and Tabletop Game and Hobby. We have two excellent stores here in our Kansas City area, and I try to go there as much as possible. So if I thought that I'd be able to get these games with some security reasonably well, then I bypassed purchasing then because I could make a purchase later. On the other hand, when I'm at these conventions, I am supporting the companies directly. So there is that. But I did try to wait. If I felt that I could get the game easily later, then I generally didn't make a purchase. So that's kind of one little premise that I had going in. So why did I make the purchase that I made? So I did not buy anything on Thursday for myself. So I made it through the entire Thursday. And I thought I'd go through kind of the order of how I purchased these games. So the first one that I broke down to purchase was this game called Northgard. And this is actually based on a video game, which I actually have played. I don't play many video games, but I do play video games when I exercise, when I use my exercise bike, and I've enjoyed this game. And this game, although it was a bit expensive, it's got like everything that I love. It's got exploration, it's got a little bit of deck building, you're building out. Although I do admittedly like more complicated games than the average Joe, this one is pretty simple in your actions. You play a card and you do the thing. You play a card and you recruit a troop, put it on the map, or you explore more of the map, or you move your troops. Pretty simple. And so I think that I will get this played. That's the other principle. I always try to think of, am I ever going to play these games? Will I have people play them with? And if I don't, then that I probably won't buy it, even if it's a great game. So this one, it also plays 5 players. I'm always looking for a game that plays 5, 6, 7 players. So this was my first purchase, this game called Northgard. And because I had a 10% discount then from that same company, I also got this game that I played last year at Gen Con called Dinner in Paris. I haven't really seen this around much, and I enjoyed my play of it last year, so I decided to get that. The other thing I do try to avoid doing is I try to avoid buying a game if I haven't tried it already. And both those games I tried, I did a demo of the Northgard, and I played Dinner in Paris last year, and I liked it, so I made those purchases. Let's see here. And then on Friday, I went to the consignment sale that they had there in the front of Gen Con. I picked up these games over here. And this game, although I haven't played this game, it is by some of my favorite designers, Council of Four, and this was on a good sale, so I purchased that. This one I also have not played. It was cheap, but it also fits into this line of both of these games. There's a whole bunch of these games that look really nice on the shelf. It's also by a trusted designer who has done good stuff. This game, Alia Icta Est. Alia Iecta Est. It's Latin. I don't know my Latin very well. But this is a little simple dice game. I played it several years ago. I remember really liking it. So I haven't seen this around at all. And so I picked it up at the consignment sale. This game, Magic Maze, it's a crazy real-time game that works in particular situations and doesn't work in other situations. But it plays like 3 to 8 players, and it's just chaos and can be really fun, can be really frustrating. But again, it was like $5 or something. So I said, hey, I'll go for it. And then Gingerbread House. Again, I haven't played it, but it was on a good sale, and I really like this designer, Phil Walker Harding. He is known for having kind of really punchy, fun, simple games that are like 20 to 30 minutes, but really interesting in their play. So I've heard good things about this too. So it was cheap, and it was used, so I got that. So that was that. eBay was doing this weird thing where they were just giving out games. And I saw some people playing a little demo of it, and it looked like it was a pretty fun little auction game. So I said, hey, it was free. So they said, here, do you want a game? I said, yes. Actually, sometimes I would say no to that because I'm like, I just don't need more games in my collection, but that are mediocre. But this one actually looked pretty good. So it was worth it. It was also a Gen Con exclusive. So it was my one chance to get it. So all I had to do was give them my email address from my eBay account, which I never really use eBay. But then I went to a big event from this company called AEG, Alderac Entertainment Group. And if you did this event, it was a little bit of a more expensive event. You did an event, they taught you a couple games, and they gave you the games at the end of the event. We were supposed to play a game called Ready, Set, Bet, which I wish that we would have gotten that because that was one of my favorite games from the con. But we did play a really fun game called the Guild of Merchant Explorers. So that was one game that they taught us and then they gave us. And then That Old Wallpaper, which is a fun matching up the various things, and you come up with this whole kind of ugly, beautiful wallpaper thing at the end. So that was fun. Then, last few here, on Saturday, I picked up these last games. No, Saturday I picked up this game, the Great American Mail Race. Now, this might have been a mistake because I thought, I'm not going to be able to find this again. And then I thought afterwards, I think this is a Target game. And yes, you can get this one at Target. But it was really fun play, pretty simple. You're delivering the mail around the country. The map has all of these hilarious names of cities that are actually real cities, like Plenty Bears and Catfish Paradise and Nibley and Bean Station and Booger Hole. All of these are real locations, and that's the locations they included on the map. It was fun, but you can pick this up at Target. I maybe didn't need to pick it up at the con, but I did, and I think I'll get it played. And then I got to meet the designer. This is probably the most unusual game that I discovered at the convention. It's a game called Consumption, Food and Choices. And I had heard a little bit about the game, but then the designer happened to be there at the booth. She was kind of passing by. She's actually a designer and a dietitian, and she designed this game where it's really cool. I played it Saturday night, really fun. And you go shopping for your food, and then you make recipes with your food, and then those things that you make the recipes out of, like it's meat and dairy and grains, those then go into your body on the board. And if you have too much of one thing, it's going to get you negative points at the end of the game because it's too much cholesterol or too much meat or whatever. And if you don't have enough of some things, it's going to get you negative points. Like you don't have enough water. If you don't drink enough water, it's going to give you negative points. But then if you've eaten too much meat, then you can do exercises. You do these activities where you can go like jogging or weightlifting, and that works off those things that you have eaten and put into your body. Fascinating game, really fun, a very unique theme, and that was kind of, since the designer was there and everything, and I got a picture with her, it was really good. So Consumption. Then the last couple purchases here is I played this game Gutenberg on Saturday. I'm trying to avoid buying games for the most part, although I mentioned some that I did pick up that I haven't played yet. But they were on good deals. I'm trying to avoid buying a whole bunch of new games before I've played them because I've experienced now that I play a game, I'm like, it was okay. But I played this on Saturday and I really liked it. However, it was sold out at the con by the time I went back to their booth. So I went back on Sunday morning because sometimes what happens is they have a certain amount of games and they set some out for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Like they have 50 copies of a game. They're not going to put they have 200 copies of a game. And they're not going to put all 200 copies out at the beginning of the convention because those that only come on Saturday or only come on Sunday, then never have a chance to get it. So they put out 50 copies each day. And then you have a chance every morning to go rush to that booth and get the game that you want and try to get that. So Gutenberg was gone, and I thought maybe they have extra copies. So I went to their booth on Sunday, first thing, and I said, "Are you sold out of Gutenberg?" And they said, "Yes, we are, except we have this copy here that was an opened copy, and it was played once yesterday, and we'll give it to you for a 20% discount and this promo." And I'm like, sold. So I enjoyed this game. I knew I liked it, and so that was a good deal. And then I picked up a new game bag because my other game bag, the strap broke, and this one's really nice. It's got like pads and packets on the side that hold stuff. So that is what I picked up at Gen Con. If you found this interesting, great. Maybe I'll do it again sometime. If this was boring to you, well, there are other things in the world of Facebook that you can watch. But I thought I'd just walk through this stuff that I came home with and why I did. So there it is. Have a great evening.